Welcome. So in today's Plants vs. Zombies systems exercise, we're going to walk through a series of boards. So this is going to be a series of trials from very early and easy levels to later and way harder levels. And we're going to show you really how the benefit of systems comes into play, where it can save you time, where it opens up the prospects of putting your attentions towards more money, and where it can offer opportunities to increase your profits. And if it's built right, it can be built for loads way heavier than you're currently dealing with. So, as with any business, our first priority is going to be finding ways to generate income. Any business is going to need ways to generate income, and while that happens, there are going to be little one-timey things that come up, little bad guys that come up trying to disrupt what you're doing. Now, you can immediately go on the offensive, or you can give it just a one-time quick little hitch. Get rid of that, take care of it, find a way to delay it. But your number one priority in starting your business is to find ways to generate income as quickly as possible and as many different ways as possible. So once you've got that in place, you start to look at your challengers and your competition, things that can come at you, and find some ways of slowing them down. We want to make sure to keep them from our gates. We want to find some way of keeping them from our customers. And that's what this segment that we're putting down now is, to slow down oncoming attackers. Now in the game, these items are referred to as frozen peas or frozen pea shooters that slow down the oncoming zombies. Now once that's in place, we want to start looking at ways to start to take away those challengers. And that's where you can see we're starting to put down these spikes in the far right column. And it's meant to serve as kind of a moat around our business, a defensive perimeter. And this defensive perimeter is going to be how we differentiate ourselves from the competition. What is the thing that we do best that none of our competitors can do that gives us some way of being able to compete in our own lane without having to compete on their terms? Now, once we have our moat in place, we can start looking at how we attack our competition. We can start to go on the offensive. So how do we attack those attackers that are coming at us? And that's where we're going to build out this line of pea shooters or repeat shooters because they're shooting two at a time. And you'll notice as we're doing that, we are continuing to improve our streams of income, to make them bigger, to make more of them. This is our sole priority because we want to make sure that the income coming in is sufficient to allow us to continue growing. Once we have a range of attackers in, we can now increase our moat. We can now look at other things that we do that are different than our competition, that put us on our own playing field and keep our competition away. So it's really just a matter of using these systems, this defensive moat, these slow down our attackers, these offensive weapons that are going to give us the balance in our systems to be able to grow. Now you'll notice at the bottom of the fourth column, we've upgraded one of our attackers. So whereas it used to shoot 2 peas, it now shoots 4. So this is an example of a process improvement or a change that we've made to our business that makes us more powerful. And we can repeat that across different aspects of our business, like you just saw, to make our offensive more powerful while our defense, our slowdown, our income are already in place. And so as you'll see, this system is built to pretty much run itself at the level that we're at. We are set to go, and if we decided this was the level we were comfortable staying at, this system could ride for us and do great things. However, once we get through this level, you see, we got to look at things a little differently. Now, as you can see, at this next level, we've got some different zombies. We've got some different attackers coming at us, and it's important to know who they are, what they're about, and how do we address them? How do we take care of that bad guy? Now in the game, if we were to click on the Almanac button in the bottom right, it'll tell you what those zombies are about and how you'd go about taking care of them. But in the business world, this is where having a coach or a mentor who's experienced in your industry or just experienced in starting and running a business come in handy. They have experience to be able to tell you what is likely coming up next for the level that you're at. So where we left off was building up our attackers, creating more in power and in number. And as you can see, it's pretty effective. Between the moat that we've created and the attackers that we're building up, you're not seeing any of these guys make it past the second column. They're not making it out of our moat, which is exactly where we want them to be. So if we can keep that balance of the right amount of attack and the right amount of defenses in our moat, where they're not getting past our moat, that's exactly the kind of castle defense or business defense that we want. Now, you'll notice our solar energy up in the top left is getting up past 1,000. So now is one of those times, because we've built the fundamentals of our system and they're already in place, that we can start to pull back a little on that income production and start to put some of that energy towards raw profits. Now, this can be investments, maybe new equipment, new services available, new products. But whatever it is, because the system is now running itself, we can turn our full attention from yielding back a little on the income production and turning it towards raw benefit for the business. And as you can see, even though we're cutting back on that income production, it's still growing. We're now up over 2,000 solar units, and it'll continue to rise. Because the fundamentals of our system are in place, we're not spending as much. So we've still got income coming in, but there's not a whole lot of outlay going out. So between the income continuing to spike, our expenses not climbing as much as they were, and being able to turn our attentions to strictly profit-making capabilities, we see that our production is up in all levels. And we're still at a point where even these upgraded attackers are not making it out of our moat. Our system's working exactly as we want it to. So as you can see here again, new level, new devils. We've got different types of bad guys coming. We've got different types of challenges coming, which is what you should expect at every new level of your business. What got you to 10,000 isn't going to get you to 100,000. What got you to 100,000 isn't going to get you to 1,000,000, and so on and so forth. So these things should be understood, and you plan according to what you know you're going to face in that level. So again, we've got our moat, but we know that this time they've got something that can swim a moat. So we're going to fortify that so that in those outer layers they can handle this new type of bad guy. On top of that, we're going to put a layer in front of our attackers that takes away a key defense, or in some cases a key offense, of these new bad guys that are coming in. So as you can see, some of these zombies have screen doors in front of them. As you can see, the magnets that we've put in place take the screen doors from them, which leaves them fully vulnerable to the attack power that we've put together in our system. And as you're now seeing, some of these zombies are driving these hockey machines that they call zombonis, but in the world of hockey, they're referred to as zamboni machines. And that's what we upgraded our moat for, because at the higher levels, they can take out those machines and still keep standing. So we've upgraded the spikes in order to take care of those. And for the most part, we're doing good. But as you can see, there's some other new bad guys that have come up, these miners that have come up, and they're subject to magnets as well, assuming that there are magnets available. Otherwise, they'll just go underground all the way to the end of the board and then attack us from the backside, as you can just see. Now, thankfully, we had our emergency pieces in place to be able to take care of that. But what this is showing you is that with these systems in place, all of about 3 zombies out of all the ones that have come up in this past level have been able to make it through our defenses. And thankfully, that was even easy enough that our emergency rations could take care of them. So our system is doing really well now. And as you can see, we're almost at 4,000 solar units. So while it might not be necessary for us to add sunflowers back into this arena, it never hurts to have them in backup, because one way or another, if you ever lose your production capacity, you always want a way to be able to gain it back quickly. It's also worth noting that most, if not all, of our system is in place at this point. So we can keep our focus on how do we create profit. And better yet, we can create a system that makes those profits automatic. That's what this golden magnet is going to do for us. It's going to collect the money for you. So now, not only do you not need to collect the solar power if you don't want to, you also don't need to collect the money. Not from the marigolds that we've planted that are producing money, not from the zombies that we're defeating. The golden magnet's going to collect it for you, and you'll never miss a piece from here on out. Now, it's probably worth noticing if you take a look at the screen, is that there's nowhere near as much activity from the cursor, from the CEO, that being you. There's nowhere near as much activity in this go-round as we've seen in the rounds past. If anything, we're just kind of fortifying defense around our attackers. But other than that, we're not having to collect sun, we're not having to collect coins. The system is running itself, and it's taking on all comers. Now this will usually be the point at which you want to start planning to take a vacation, because you worked very, very hard to get your company to this point. And the systems that you've put in place are load testing right in front of you. Now your final load test, if you've done your systems right, and if you've set up your people and your tools right, is to be able to see if your business can continue to run without you. If you need to take a vacation, if you get sick, if you just need a month off for R&R, or something going on with something in your family, can it continue to run without you? And also, if like you just saw, if another bad guy manages to slip through the cracks, is it something simple enough that you could tell your next in charge how to take care of it? So in this last leg of our systems exercise, we're going to go fully automated. So this is going to be where you, the CEO, are on vacation. So where will you go for vacation? Will you take your significant other to Bora Bora? Will you take your kids to Disney World? Will you decide to go on a cruise? Or go hike the Appalachian Trail, whatever does it for you? This is you spending your time celebrating your success and giving your company the opportunity to prove it can be self-running. So you're not going to see a cursor on the screen. This is the system running itself, and the system running itself with a higher volume of attackers, obstacles, and challenges than we've seen in any of the previous waves. But because the systems are set up so well, they attack so well, the moat so well, the magnets ready to take the advantages out of the competition, your production fantastic if you decide to use it, but at the moment, you're not even using it. Everything about this system is set up to be able to run without you, which means at this point you can more or less coast and just be a monitor of your business if this is the level you're comfortable with. Or you can turn your full attention on how to take your business to the next level. Because not only is the system running by itself, it's taking far less of your energy. So you can turn your full attention to what systems are necessary, what adjustments are necessary to get us to that next level, to open another location, to franchise out, whatever that next level is for you. You have the bandwidth to turn your full attention to it and knock that out the park too. So as you can see, putting systems in place is not just about making money, though that's certainly a byproduct of it. Putting systems in place is about getting you your time back so that you can put your focus on the things that best grow and thrive your business, not just what can put money in your pocket today. But by the way, if you've got a system that runs itself, it becomes way easier to get funding, loans, grants. It becomes way easier to get investments. And if for any reason you decide you don't want to do the business anymore, it becomes way easier to sell because it's already packaged to do so. So I want to thank you for joining us, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please join us for the next in the Plants vs. Zombies series. Have a great day.